Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining today's reading of Srila Sanatana Goswami's Hari-bhakti-vilāsa, continuing the previous parts. Srila Sanatana Goswami, he lived between 1488 to 1558 AD. He was a Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharya and a follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is the senior of the Six Goswamis of Vrindavan. And Hari-bhakti-vilāsa is a compilation of scriptural injunctions from various Vedic sources, consolidated to provide a structured path for devotees to integrate bhakti or devotional service into every aspect of our lives and deepen our eternal relationship with Lord Sri Krishna. And then ISKCON Desire Tree is a free online resource for devotees worldwide and the Multimedia social network with a mission to spread Krishna consciousness as per the desire of His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the Founder-Ācārya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, by providing the Vedic knowledge, teachings, and practices given by Vaishnava Acharyas. The rights for all the content presented here are reserved by ISKCON Desire Tree, and we thank them for making this available for all of us so that we can read this online. And before reading the actual content of the Srila Sanatana Goswami's Hari-bhakti-vilāsa, we are to start our prayers. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Gnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhamritamscha Namavom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we will continue from Srila Sanatana Goswami's Hari-bhakti-vilāsa, starting from 186 page in Vilasa 13. Varam samatra kamanam, varam gomansha bhakshamam, varam hacha surapanam, na ekadashantu bhojanam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13.8, Narada Purana. It is worse than enjoying conception with one's own mother, eating beef, murdering, or drinking liquor than eating on Ekadasi day. Therefore, one should not eat on the Ekadasi day. Dashamyam eka bhaktam tu kurvita niyatendriyaha achamya danta kasthantu khadayet tadanantaram. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13.18, Smriti Antara. On Dashami day, a person should eat only once with controlled senses. After that, he should wash his hands and mouth, and then he should brush his teeth properly. Dinartha samayetite bhujyate niyamena yat eka bhaktam iti proktam kartavyam tat prayatnataha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13.21, Brahma Vaivarta Purana. A person who is regulated will eat only once a day when half of the day has passed in the afternoon, and he should eat in the religious mood for purification. Matirna jayate yasya dvadashyam jagaram prati nahi tasya adhikarosti pujane keshavasya. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1386, Skanda Purana, conversation between Lord Shiva and his wife Uma. One who does not remain awake overnight on a Dwadasi fasting day is not qualified to worship Lord Sri Hari. Udaye vartate yasya sada yogeshwaro harihi matir utpadyate tasya Dwadasi jagaro pari. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1387, Skanda Purana. Lord Brahma speaks to Narada Muni. The Supreme Lord Hari, if he is in anybody's heart, he will surely give him the intelligence to remain awake overnight on the Dwadasi fast day. Srimad Bhagavatam Bhaktya Patate Vishnu Sannidhau Jagare Tatpadam Yati Kulavrunda Samanvitam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13:131, Skanda Purana and Prahlad Samhita, conversation between Lord Brahma and Narada. If anybody studies Srimad Bhagavatam with full devotion before the deity of Lord Sri Hari, he will surely go to the spiritual abode with all of his ancestors. Dastakali bhujangena swapanti madhuhadine kurvanti jagaram naiva maya pasa vimohitaha. Maya pasha vimohitaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13, Maya pasha vimohitaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13:171, Skanda Purana, conversation between Lord Shiva and his wife Uma. Any person on the day of Lord Hari who does not remain awake overnight and instead sleeps, one should understand that he has been caught with 100-fold network of illusion and has been bitten by the snake of Kali Yuga. Yat kinchit kriyate papam koti janmani manavaihe Krishnasya jagare sarvam ratrau dahati parvati. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13:182, Skanda Purana, conversation between Lord Shiva and Parvati. O Parvati, on the day of Lord Sri Hari, if somebody remains awake, all of the sins accumulated for the previous millions of births are destroyed at once. Yap punah swastha chittopi swasthani vasatepi san na harer jagaram kuryat tena karya name kvachit. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13:190, Skanda Purana, conversation between Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi. O Parvati, what more can I say? A healthy person while living in his own house and still does not remain awake on the day of Lord Hari at night, even though he is a devotee of the Lord, even I do not have any connection with him. Brahmana Kshatriya Vaishya Striyas Sudrasya Jagare Praptaste Paramasthanam Sri Vishnu Jagare Krute. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13:188, Skanda Purana, conversation between Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi. Whether one is a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, woman or Sudra, fallen person, unwanted progeny, demons, or evil spirit or devil, any of them who had previously observed an Ekadasi fast and remain awake overnight for the pleasure of Lord Hari on Ekadasi, and then attain the spiritual abode of Lord Vishnu. Tatra brahma cha rudrascha sakrajya devatangana nityam eva samayanti jagare Krishna Vallabhe rishayo naradajyastu vyasajya munayastadha ahascha tatra gacchami Krishna puja ratah sada. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13:219-220, Prahlad Samhita. Prahlada says, wherever there is a person remaining awake overnight, which is very dear to Lord Krishna, all the demigods, including Brahma, Indra, and Shiva, are all available there. And where there is such a wake going on, all of the great sages, headed by Narada Muni, Vyasadeva, are available. And I, Prahlad Maharaj, who am always engaged in worshipping Lord Sri Hari, am also available there. Ganga Saraswati Deva, Yamuna Vai Satadruka, Chandrabhaga Vitastascha, Najja Sarvastu Tatravai. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13.223 Prahlāda Samhita. Prahlāda Maharaj says, there only the Ganges, Saraswati, Reva, Yamuna, Shatadruka, Chandrabhaga, Vitasta, and other religious rivers are available there as well. Pratasnatva Harim Puja, Upavasam Samarpayet, Paranantu Tatak Kuryat, Pratasiddho Harismaran. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13.230 Kachayana. After taking bath early in the morning and worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Hari, one should offer his fasting to him. And then, to achieve merit from such fasting, one should remember Lord Sri Hari while breaking the fast. Nityakrutyam samapya adha seksya vipramsya bhojayet purvita dvadasi mache tulasim prasya paranam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13.236 Trailokya Mohana Pancharatra. Thereafter, after performing daily service to the Supreme Lord according to one's capacity, one should give eating ingredients to Brahmanas in charity, and then take a tulsi leaf in his mouth and break one's fast. Krutva chaiva upavasam tu yoshnati dvadasi dine naivedyam tulasi mishram papakoti vinashanam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13.237 Skanda Puran. After fasting properly on Ekadasi, one should eat Mahaprasad the next day, Dvadasi, and at that time, millions of his sins are burnt. Mahahanikari Kesha Dvadasi Langhit Nunam Karoti Dharmaharanam Ashnateva Saraswati. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13.238 Padma Puranam. As when one goes across the Saraswati river without taking bath, he loses his sin. Similarly, when one continues fasting on Dvadasi day, he suffers a great amount of meritorious loss. One who does not break fast at the proper time loses a great amount of merit. Srila Sanatana Goswami states that without taking bath in the Saraswati only means that if you cross to the other side of Saraswati to take bath, all of his religious merits will be stolen from him. Ekadasham uposhaiva dvadasham paranam smritam trayodasham natat kuryat dvadasha dvadasi kshayat. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13.241 Kurma Purana. One should fast on the Ekadasi day and break his fast on Dvadasi day. It is not recommended to break one's fast on Trayodasi day. One who breaks his fast on Trayodasi day, one who does not break his fast at the proper moment, he loses the merit which he had gained by fasting on 12 Dvadasis. Srila Sanatana Goswami gives his Digdarshini commentary saying that passing over means not breaking his fast at the proper time. Dvadasha Prathama Pado Harivasara Sanyakaha Tam Atikramya Purvita Duranam Vishnu Tatparaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13.258 Vishnu Dharmottara. The fourth portion of the Dvadasi day is called the day of Lord Hari. The person who is a devotee of Lord Vishnu should pass over this portion to break his fast. Dvadasi Ekadashi Yoge Vikshato Harivasaraha Ekadashyantya Padascha Dvadasha Purvayevahi Harivasara Ityahur Bhojanam Na Samacharet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13.259. Because Ekadashi is connected to Dvadashi is why it is called the day of Lord Hari. Learned souls say that when the fourth part of the day of Ekadashi is combined with the first part of the day of Dvadashi, it is named as the day of Lord Hari. Therefore, it is rejected to eat during this period. Yatha rajasvala sangam anyayam vajjitam sada tatha dashami samyuktam madyanam vaishnavair naraihi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13.440 Padma Purana. The Supreme Lord Madhava speaks. It has always been forbidden to have conception with a lady passing through menstruation. Similarly, on my own day, Ekadasi, one should never observe it when it is mixed with the Dashami day. Jagare Padmana Bhusya, Jagare Padmane Pasya, Puranam Patate Tuyaha, Janmakoti Sukritam Papam, Dahate Tularasivat, Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 13, 530, Skanda Purana. While remaining awake for the lotus naveled Lord Sri Hari, one who studied Puranas, meritorious histories, then whatever sins one has acquired for millions of years burns up just like a piece of cotton, quickly burns to ashes in the fire. So, continuing with Vilasa 14. Shivaratri Vratam Krishna, Chaturdashantu Falgune, Vaishnaver Apitat Karyam, Sri Krishna Pritaye Sada. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 14.187, Gautamiya Tantra. On the 14th day of the dark fortnight of the month of Falguna, February, March, for the pleasure of Lord Sri Krishna, a Vaishnava should always take a vow to fast on this day. It is called Shivaratri, or the night of Lord Shiva. Parat param yanti narayana parayanaha, nate tatra gamishyanti, yedvishanti maheshwaram. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 14.189, Kurma Purana, the Supreme Lord speaks to Bhrigu Muni. One who avoids fasting on Shivaratri, or the night of Lord Shiva day, he becomes very offensive. Whatever offenses one accumulates by not fasting on Shivaratri day is explained here. The destination of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Narayana, is certainly in the spiritual world. But if one is envious of Lord Shiva, he does not attain the spiritual world. Yani kanyatra lingani stavarani charanicha teshu sankramate devas tasyam ratrau yato haraha Shivaratris tatak prokta tena sa Hari-bhakti-vilāsa Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 14.200, Skanda Purana, Nagarakhanda. Whatever genital deities of Lord Shiva that can be found on this earthly planet, on the night of this 14th day of the dark fortnight of the month of Falguna, Lord Shiva, who is the leading demigod, enters into them. For this reason, this day is called Shivaratri. For this reason, this day is very dear to Lord Sri Hari. Sri Krishna Vaishnavanantu Prema Bhakti Vivardhate Krishna Bhakti Rasasara Varshi Rudra Anukampaya. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 14.221, Skanda Purana. Being a Vaishnava, if somebody fasts on Lord Shiva's night, Shivaratri day, by the mercy of him, Lord Shiva, who is diving into the ocean of the mellow of devotion to Krishna, one's devotion to Krishna increases rapidly. Chaitreya Masi Navamyam tu Suklayam hi Rahudvaha Pradurasit Pura Brahman Param Brahma Iva Kevalam Tasmin Dinetu Kartavyam Upavasa Vratam Adhikam Vratam Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 14.241, Agastya Samhita. O Brahmana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Rama appeared on the light fortnight of the month of Chaitra, March, April. Therefore, one should take a vow to fast on this day. Vaishake Masi Suklayam Tritiyam Janardhanaha Yavan Utpadayamasa Yugancha Krutavan Krutam Brahmalokat Tripadhakam Prithvivyam Avatarayat. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 14.405, Matsya Purana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead created barley and Satya Yuga, the first golden age, on the third day of the light part of Vaishakha, April-May, and made the Ganges appear on this planet from Brahmaloka, piercing through the abode of Lord Brahma. Therefore, one should worship Lord Hari on this day. Tretayigam Tritiyam Suklayam Masi Madhave. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 14408 Madhva-purana, Lord Varaha, more incarnation, speaks to Mother Earth. On this third day of the light part of the month of Vaishakha, April-May, Treta Yuga, Silver Age, was made to appear by the Lord. Varshe Varshe tu Kartavyam Mama Santushti Karanam Mahaguhyam Idam Sreshtham Manavai Bhava Bhirubhihi Vigneya Maddinam Yastu Langhayat Satu Papabhak Evam Gnatva Prakartavyam Maddine Vratam Uttamam Anyatha Narakam Yati Yabachandra Divakarav. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 14, 415, 416, Nrsimha Purana. Lord Nrsimha speaks to Prahlad Maharaj. O Prahlad, on my day one should fast, which falls on the 14th day of the light part of the month of Vaishakha, April-May. Those people who are afraid of this material existence should fast every year on this most auspicious fasting day of mine. Any person, even though knowing about he does not fast on this day, he becomes implicated with sin. Knowing this, one should take a vow to fast on my day. Otherwise, he will suffer in the hellish planets as long as the sun and moon exist on this planet. Sarvesham eva lokanam adhikarosti madvrate madbhaktastu visheshena prane yam mat parayanaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 14, 417, Nrsimha Purana. Lord Nrsimha speaks to Prahlad Maharaj. Every human being is authorized to fast on my day. Particularly those who are my devotees should certainly fast on my day. Yenaiva kriyamanena sahasra dvadasi phalam jayatena mrishavachni manushanam mahatmanam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 14, 452, Nrsimha Purana, Lord Nrsimhadev speaks. O Prahlad, I am not telling lies. Just by fasting on my Chaturdasi day, everyone can achieve the result of fasting on 1000 Dvadasis. Vilasa 15. Vatsarasya ya madhye ekadasyo samvatsarasya madhye ya madhye ekadasyo bhavanti hi tasam phalam avapnoti putramena atra samshayaha itimam keshva praha Sankhachakra Gadadharaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1525, Padma Purana. Vyasadeva speaks to Bhimasena. O son, Lord Keshava, who holds the club, disc, conch, and lotus flower in his hand, personally told me that all of the merit achieved by fasting on whatever Ekadasis fall in 1 year can be attained by fasting on this one Ekadasi, Nirjala Ekadasi. Of this, there is no doubt. Atmadroha krutastestu yair esha nahi uposita papatmano durachara dustastena atra samshaya. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1533, Padma Purana, Srila Vyasadeva speaks to Bhimasena. Any person who does not fast on this particular Ekadasi, Nirjala Ekadasi, they should be understood to be sinful, corrupted, and suiciding person without a doubt. Iti asasya prabhor agre grahaniyan yamam yati chaturmashesu kartavyam Krishna bhakti vivruddhaye. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15, 113. Navaprashna Pancharatra. After properly praying to the Supreme Lord near him, one should properly take a vow to follow the proper rules and regulations and process of Chaturmasya to increase one's devotion to Lord Sri Krishna. Ekadashantu grahaniyat sankranto karkatasyatu asajyam va naro bhaktya chaturmasyo ditam vratam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15, 114, Sanat Kumara. In the month of Ashada, either on the Ekadasi when the Lord sleeps or in Scorpio, Sankranti day or a full moon day, it is the duty of a fasting person on Chaturmasa to take a vow to fast in Chaturmasya with devotion in front of the Lord. Yo vina nimam marcho pratam va japya eva va chaturmasyam nayen murkho jivannapi mrito hi saha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15:116 Bhavishya Purana. Any person in this material world who performs chaturmasya without following any rules and regulations, or fasts, or without chanting any japa, such a foolish person is considered to be dead, even though alive. Sravane vajjayet sakam dadhibhadra pade tatha dugdham ashvayuje masi kartike cha amisham tajet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15:117 Skanda Purana Nagar Khanda. While following Chaturmasya, one should give up eating leafy vegetables in the month of Shravan, July, August. In the month of Bhadrapada, August, September, one should give up yogurt. In the month of Ashwin, September, October, one should give up milk. And in the month of Kartik, October, November, one should give up eating white dal. Pavitra aropanam kurya dvadasham rishi tarpanam. Purnamashyantu kurvita tato tad ukta vidhanataha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15:167 Gautamiya Tantra. On the full moon day of the month of Shravana, July, August, one should put a sacred Brahmana's thread on the Supreme Lord and perform pouring water on the great sages. Tatra karpasikam sutram brahmani kattitam subham aniya triguni kritya punas traigunayet suchihi panchagavyena tatproksha prakshalya suchinambuna mulena ashtottara satam mantrena atha abhi mantrayet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15:184-185 Vishnu Rahasya. One should take a pure thread which was spun by a clean Brahmana woman and then made threefold and then further folded 3 times. And thereafter it should be dipped inside the Panchagavya, 5 ingredients from the cow such as milk, yogurt, ghee, urine and dung, and then wash it in clean water and then chant 108 Mula mantras on it. Trinishashta setena asya tasya ardhena asya cha ardhataha januvuru nabhida gnani pavitrani acharet prabho shat-trinshat granthayas tesham ajye karyastu machame chatur vishnatir antecha dvadasha granthayo budhaihi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15:186-187 Vishnu Rahasya. From that purified thread, then 3 categories of thread should be made. 108-fold or 54-fold or 27-fold threads should be taken to make a sacred thread. Respectfully, top quality, medium quality or low quality threads are determined by measuring the deity from the shoulder to the knee, from the shoulder to the thigh, or from the shoulder to the navel. Putting knots in the middle of them, 36, 24 and 12 knots are put. Learned souls call them first class quality, second class quality and third class quality Brahman threads. Masam paksham ahoratram triratram dharayet tatha devesham sutra sandarbham deshakala anusarataha pratyaham snana karmadi sutrani उत्तार्य कारयेत अभिषिच्य अधायुतोयेन पुनर्देवे निवेदयेत. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15:235-236 Tantra Shastra. According to time and place, a Brahmana thread should be put on the Lord for 1 month, or 1 fortnight, or for 1 day and night, or for 3 nights. And for bathing the Lord and after washing it, one can put it on the Lord's body again. Mukhya kalasya chaitasya vignatopagame sati bhadradau api kartavyam pavitra aropanam prabho. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15:241 Bodhayana. Due to some obstacle, at the most auspicious moment of the light fortnight of the month of Shravana, July, August, of Dwadasi day has passed. Then one can put on on this thread on the Lord in Bhadrapada, August, September. Bhadre Bhagavato Janma Dine Karyo Mahotsavaha Visheshena Mahapujam Vratapurnena Vaishnavaihi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15 to 46. Kalika Purana, Sri Vyasadeva speaks. One should perform a festival on the birthday of Lord Hari, which falls in Bhadrapada, August-September month, and on the Dwadasi days of Shravana, July-August. It is the duty of all Vaishnavas to fast on these days and to do specific great worship of the Supreme Lord. Prahlada Adasya Bhupala Kruta Janmastami Subha Shraddhaya Paraya Vishnu Pretaye Krishna Vallabha Prajapati Aksha Samyukta Shravanasya Asita Astami Varshe Varshe tu Kartavya Twishti Ardham Chakrapaninaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 267 268 Skanda Purana. Great kings such as Prahlad had fasted on the most dear day of Lord Sri Krishna, named Janmastami, the birthday of Lord Krishna, to develop intense love for Krishna. One should certainly fast on such an auspicious day of Lord Krishna's birth, named Krishnastami, every year, to please Lord Sri Krishna, who holds a disk in his hand. Ena kurvanti janantaha Krishna Janmastami vratam te bhavanti mahaprajna vyala mahati kanane. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15 to 75 Skanda Purana. O greatly intelligent, any person, even with knowledge of Krishna's birthday, Janmastami, who does not fast, he takes his next birth as a snake in a thick forest. Samparken apiyak kuryat kastit Janmastami vratam Vishnu lokam apnoti sopi partha nasamshayaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15 to 95 Skanda Purana. If someone fasts on Janmastami day with devotion, he attains the abode of Lord Sri Vishnu. Tasyam Vishnu tidhau kechit dhanya kaliyuge janaha ye abhyarchayanti devesham jagrata samuposhitaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15.307 Brahma Purana, Srila Sanatana Goswami speaks. This day, Janmastami day, removes all kinds of sins. Specifically in Kali Yuga, if someone fasts on this day and remains awake overnight and worships Lord Sri Hari properly, those people are worshipable. Idam eva param sreya, idam eva parantapa, idam eva paro dharmo, yad Vishnu vratadharanam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15.312 Brahma Purana. Fasting on the day of Lord Hari is the most auspicious thing and the topmost austerity and the topmost meritorious action. Sampurna cha ardharatre tu rohini yadi labhyate krutavya saprayatnena purva vidham vivarjayet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15.370 Yajnavalkya Smriti. If on the 8th day of the dark fortnight at midnight there is Rohini constellation, on that day one should fast. But if it is combined with the 7th day, it should be given up in all circumstances. Baubhuta sargau lokesmin daiva asura evacha Vishnu bhakti paro daiva asurastat viparyayaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15.396 Agni Purana and Vishnu Dharma. There are two kinds of living entities created. One is divine and the other is demonic. The devotees of Supreme Lord Vishnu are said to be divine personalities. Those who are not his devotees are addressed as demonic. Yadi ched sarva papani hantum niravaseshadaha utsava ante sada vipra jagannatha annamashayet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15.407 Vayu Purana. O Brahmana, whatever sins are left, if he desires to remove them, he should take the remnants of rice offered to Lord Jagannath at the end of each festival. Vrata sadharana tvacha saptam yadi dinatraye kartavya niyama sarve dasham yadi dine shiva. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15.408 Vayu Purana. Ordinarily, whatever rules and regulations are explained to follow the 3 days, Dashami, Ekadasi, and Dwadasi, the same rules are to be followed concerning Saptami, Ashtami, and Navami. In other words, the first day is to control the senses, the second day is to fast, and the third day is to break the fast. The rules of the 3 days such be followed properly. Natva gurum anugnapya paschat niyamam acharet nahi siddhayet guru bhaktam niyamancha vinafalam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15:629 Gautamiya Tantra. After paying obeisances to one's spiritual master and following his instructions, one should follow the rules of fasting. Because without proper devotion to and instructions from him, one cannot expect the perfection of performing a vow. Ashvinasya site pakshe dashamyam vijayotsavaha kritavyo vaishnavai sartham sarvatra vijaya ardhina. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 15:661 Bhavishya Uttara Purana. If any Vaishnava wants victory everywhere, then he should observe the victory day of Lord Sri Hari, which falls on the 10th day of the light part of the month of Ashvina, September, October. So Vilasa 16. Kartikesmin Visheshena Nityam Kurvita Vaishnavaha Damodararchanam Prata Snanadana Pratadikam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:3 Skanda Purana. Specifically in the month of Damodara, one should daily worship Lord Damodara and take bath early in the morning, give charity, and follow a fasting vow. This is the duty of Vaishnavas. Niyamena vina vipra kartikam ya chipen naraha Krishna paran mukhastasya yasmat ujjoshya vallabha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:24 Padma Purana. Conversation between Narada Muni and Shaunaka Rishi. O Brahmanas, any person without following the rules and regulations properly, who tries to observe a Kartika month, Lord Sri Krishna remains against them because this month, Kartika, is very pleasing to him. Yerna dattam hutam japtam, na snanam na harer vratam, na kritam Kartike putra, dvijaste vai naradhamaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:25 Skanda Purana. O son Narada, those Brahmanas who do give charity in the month of Kartika, perform sacrifice, chant japa, and fast for Lord Hari are the lowest of mankind. Kartika Khaluvai Masam Sarvamaseshu Cha Uttamam Punyanam Paramam Punyam Pavananam Cha Pavanam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:36 Skanda Purana. The month of Kartika is the topmost of all other months. It is the most meritorious and purified of all other pure months. Na Kartika samo maso, na krutena samam yugam, na veda sadrusham shastram, na tirtha gangaya samam. Kartika pravaro maso, Vaishnavanam priyasada, Kartikam skalam yastu, bhaktya sevate Vaishnavaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:39-40 Skanda Purana. There is no other month equal to Kartik, and there is no other yuga equal to such a yuga. There is no other scripture equal to Vedas. There is no other place of pilgrimage equal to Ganges. Therefore, the month of Kartika is very dear to the Vaishnavas, people dedicated to Vishnu. Dvadashu api maseshu Kartika Krishna Vallabha tasmin sampujito Vishnur alpakairapi upayanaihi dadati Vaishnavam lokam iti evam nischitam maya. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:41 Padma Purana. Among all 12 months, the month of Kartika is dear to Lord Sri Krishna. If somebody performs a little worship of Lord Sri Hari in this month, he offers that devotee his own award. This statement is true. Pavitranam cha bhakshanam Kartike niyame krute avasyam Krishna rupatvam prapyate muktidam subham. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:49 Skanda Purana. Whatever one usually eats, if he gives up some of the ingredients of it in the month of Kartik, then he achieves the same auspicious form as Lord Sri Krishna undoubtedly. Srila Sanatana Goswami remarks in his Digdarshini Tika stating, those who are engaged in eating daily and following the rules of Kartik, they should try to minimize and give up certain ingredients in eating. Obtaining the same form as Krishna means that it liberates one from the miseries of this material world and gives all auspiciousness and happiness. Sarvadharman parityajya Kartike Keshavagrataha Shastra Avataranam Punyam Srotavyancha Mahamuni. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1676, Kanda Purana. Lord Brahma speaks to Narada Muni. O great sage, after giving up all varieties of religious functions, one should follow Kartika fast and listen to the narrations of Lord Sri Hari before his deity form. Palashapatra Bhojicha Kartike Purusho Naraha Nishpapaha Shyattu Naivedyam Harer Bhuktva Vimuchyate Madhyastham Ishwaram Patram Varjayed Brahmane Taraha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1687, Padma Purana. Any person in the month of Kartik who eats on the leaf plate of Palasha, the remnants of the Lord, he becomes free from all sins and achieves liberation. Besides Brahmanas, twice-born persons, others are not advised to eat from this leaf because this leaf is said to be the leaf of the Supreme Lord. Snanam Jagranam Deepam Tulasi Vana Palanam Kartike Ye Prakurvanti Te Nara Vishnumurtayaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1690, Padma Purana. Lord Krishna speaks to Satyabhama. Any person who performs bathing in the month of Kartik, remaining awake, offering lamps, giving charity, or planting, or transplanting Tulasi, he achieves the same form as Lord Sri Vishnu. Kalpakoti Sahasrani Patakani Bahuni Api Nimesha Arthena Deepasya Vilayam Yanti Kartike. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1699, Skanda Purana. If even for a short time somebody burns a lamp in the temple of Lord Sri Hari, then whatever sins he has acquired for millions of kalpas, one kalpa equals 1000 yugas, these sins are all destroyed. Yathaya mathanat manhihi sarvakasteshu drishyate tadhacha drishyate dharmo deepadane na samshayaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:120, Padma Purana. Just as by rubbing of two sticks of wood and one can see fire, so by offering a burning ghee wick to the Lord in the month of Kartik, one can see his merits without a doubt. In his Digdarshini Tika, Srila Sanatana Goswami explains, even though fire is present in all pieces of wood, still without rubbing, fire does not manifest. Similarly, in all kinds of functions, although merit is available by offering a lamp in this month, certainly one can see the merit, not otherwise. Of this there is no doubt. Therefore, without offering lamps, all merits are unprofitable. This is the essence here. Vaishnavo nasamantavyaha samprapte kartike mune yona yachati mudhatma deepam keshava sadmani. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:122, Padma Purana. O sage, a person who does not offer a ghee lamp in Lord Keshava's temple in Kartik, that foolish person is not addressed as a Vaishnava. Ekadasham parer dattam deepam prajvalya mushika manusham durlabham prapya parangatim avapasa. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:129, Skanda Purana. One rat, female mouse, had once burnt a ghee lamp which was offered by someone else on the Ekadasi day. By doing so, she achieved a rarely achievable human form and at last attained the topmost destination. Srila Sanatana Goswami writes in his Digdarshini Tika, in this verse it is found that it is possible to attain the results of directly offering a lamp on Ekadasi. The history of the mouse is very famous in Padma Purana, Kartika Mahatmya. In a temple of Lord Vishnu, there was a mouse living who was eating the ghee from the extinguished ghee lamps, which had been offered by others to him. One day, when she felt hungry to eat ghee, she tried to eat the ghee from a lamp which was not yet extinguished. While eating ghee from this lamp, the cotton wick got stuck in her teeth. Since the ghee wick had a flame, the mouse started jumping in front of the Lord's deity form and thus died due to fire. But Lord Sri Vishnu accepted the jumping of that mouse with a lit ghee wick in her mouth as his aratik. In the end, he gave her liberation, the topmost destination. Madhurayam Narair Bhujye Snatva Damodarochitaha Krishna Rupahi Te Gneya Na Atra Karya Vicharana. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:155 Padma Puran. Any person who worships Lord Damodara in the month of Kartik in the Madurai area, they certainly achieve the same form as Lord Sri Krishna himself. Srila Sanatana Goswami comments on this in his Digdarshani Tika, stating that human beings achieving the same form as Krishna means that they see Lord Sri Krishna. In other words, they become as worshipable as Lord Sri Krishna. This is the understanding here. Kartuke Madhurayam Vai Pujana Darshana Dhruvaha Sighram Sampraptavan Balo Durlabham Yoga Tatparaihe. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:161 Padma Purana. Although a child, Dhruva Maharaj during the month of Kartik in the area of Madura worshipped Lord Sri Damodara, and immediately he became fixed in his devotion and became worshipable by Saunaka and the other sages and saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. Sulabha Madhura Bhumau Prachabdam Kartikas Tadhapi Samsarantiha Naramudha Bhava Ambudhau Yani Sarvani Tirthani Nadanajjas Saramsicha Kartike Nivasanchatra Nasure Sarva Mandale. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:162-164 Padma Purana. Although Madhura, Vraja area, is easily available on the earth, and Kartika is easily attainable in the year, but oh, what a great misfortune in the sight of human beings who are still suffering in the ocean of material existence. In the month of Kartik, all of the places of pilgrimage, oceans, rivers, and lakes come to Mathura area, but they do not take advantage of it. Avinasya tu masasya ya sukla ekadashi bhavet kartikasya vrata aniha tasyam kuryat atandritaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:168 Padma Puran. Conversation between Lord Krishna and Satyabhama. One should take a fasting vow for the month of Kartik without any laziness from the Ekadashi, which falls in the light part of the month of Ashwina, September, October. Nagrahe Kartike Kuryat, Visheshena tu Kartikam, Tirthe tu Kartikam Kuryat, Sarvayatnena Bhavini. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:186 Skanda Purana. O beautiful lady, specifically, one should not take a vow of fasting in the Kartika month in the home or house. Always the endeavor should be made to go to a place of pilgrimage and make this vow and observe it there. Tata Pritatma Vishnu Radhika Gopika Suva Kartike Pujaniya Cha Sri Damodara Sannidho. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:195 Padma Purana. Among all other gopis, Srimati Radharani is the most dear to Lord Krishna. Therefore, in the month of Kartik, one should worship Lord Damodara with Srimati Radharani near him. Damodarastakam Nama Sotram Damodararchanam Nityam Damodara Akarshi Pathe Satyavrata Uditam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:198. In the month of Kartik, one should daily worship Lord Damodara and sing the Damodarastaka, the 8 prayers of Lord Damodara, which pleases the Lord Damodara, written by a sage named Satyavrata. Govardhana Girau Ramye, Radha Kundam Priyam Harehe, Kartike Bahula Astamyam, Tatra Snatva Hare Priyaha, Naro Bhakto Bhavet Vipras, Tadhi Tasya Pratoshanam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16:207 Padma Purana. O Brahmanas, in the beautiful Govardhana area, there is a Radha Kunda, a lake of Radharani, which is very dear to Lord Sri Hari. One who takes bath in it on the 8th day of the dark moon night of Kartik, he becomes very dear to Lord Sri Hari. Srila Sanatana Goswami remarks in his Digdarshini Tika that although by taking a bath in Radha Kunda, one becomes very dear to Lord Sri Hari, still, if he takes bath anywhere in the name of pleasing Lord Hari, he pleases him as well. Sri Krishna Dasavarshoyam Sri Govardhana Bhudharaha Sukla Pratipadi Prataha Kartikeer Achyuta Kartikeer Achyutra Vaishnavaihi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16 to 32 Skanda Purana. On the first day of the light part of the month of Kartik, a Vaishnava should certainly worship the topmost servant of Lord Sri Krishna, Sri Govardhana, in Sri Govardhana hill early in the morning, as it is found in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, 21st chapter, verse 18. Mathurayam tadha sakshat kritva chaiva prasakshanam Vaishnavanam dharma samprapya modate hari sannidhau. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16 to 49 Padma Purana. One who stays in the Mathura area and worships Govardhana and goes around it, he goes to the abode of Lord Sri Hari and stays there happily. Urje Sukla Dvitiyayam Machanhe Yama Archayet Snanam Krutva Gunjayam Yamalokam Napashyati. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16 to 67 Skanda Purana, Padma Purana. On the mid part of the second day of the light part of the month of Kartik, one should worship Yamaraj and take bath in the Yamuna. If he does so, he will not have to go to the abode of Yamaraj. Prabodhinim uposya eva nagarbhe vishate naraha sarvatharman parityajya tasmat kurvita narada. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16 to 89 Skanda Purana, spoken by Lord Brahma. O Narada Muni, one who fasts on Prabodhini when the Lord gets up, Ekadasi, the fasting person does not enter again in the womb of another mother. Therefore, a person should give up all varieties of occupation and fast on this particular Ekadasi day. Dugdabdhihi bhogi shaine Bhagavan Ananto Yashmin dine swapiti cha atha vibudhyate cha Tashmin ananya manasam upavasa bhajam kamam dadati abhimatam Garudanka Shayi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16 to 93 Padma Purana. One who fasts on the day when the Supreme Lord goes to take rest in the milk ocean on the bed of Anantasesha, and also the day he gets up with one pointed intelligence, the Supreme Lord Sri Hari, who sleeps on a bed of the enemy of Garuda, snake, he gets all of his desires fulfilled. Bhakti Prada Hare Satu Namna Kshata Pravodhini Yasha Vishnu Paramurti Avyakta Aneka Rupini Sakshipta Manushe Loke Dwadadi Munipungava. 16.301 Varaha Purana, conversation between Yamaraj and Narada. This Prabodhini Ekadasi is famous for rewarding devotion to Lord Sri Hari. O best of the sages, Narada Muni, the personality of Ekadasi is present on this earthly planet in an unmanifested form of Lord Hari. Srila Sanatana Goswami remarks in his Digdarshini Tika that one who exactly observes the Ekadasi fast by observing this, he directly worships Lord Sri Hari. This is the meaning of this verse. Therefore, Ekadasi is said to be equal to Lord Sri Hari himself. Chaturdha Grahya Vaichirnam Chaturmasya Vratam Naraha Kartike Sukla Pakshetu Dvadasyam Tat Samacharet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16 to 412 Mahabharata. A person who observed Chaturmasya fast, it was stated 4 different ways. He should end his fast on the Dwadasi day on the light fortnight of the month of Kartik. Evam ya archayet partha sobhanam dharmam apnuyat. Avasane tu Rajendra Vasudeva Param Raje. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 16,433, Bhavishya Uttara Purana. O son of Prasa, O best of the kings, one who follows his vows properly, as it is stated here, achieves the highest merit, and at last goes to the abode of Lord Sri Hari, the son of Vasudeva. Continuing from Vilasa 17. Siddhakshetreshu tirtheshu devatānaṁ sannidhau sahasram satakotīnām anantam Vishnu sannidhau. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1725, Sri Yajnavalkya. If one chants his japa in a transcendental place such as Vrindavan, or a place of pilgrimage such as Rishikesh, Dwaraka, Badrinath, Jagannath Puri, etc., or near the place of demigods, according to Srila Sanatana Goswami, Digdarshini Tika, demigods refers to great demigods like Lord Shiva. He receives the results 1,000 times 1 million. If one chants near the deity of Lord Sri Vishnu, Krishna, he achieves unlimited results. Mraduka Vushna Supakwancha Kuryadvai Lahu Bhojanam Na Indriyanam Yadha Vratis Tadha Bhunjita Sadhakaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1746, Narada Pancharatra. If one claims himself to be devotee, he must eat a small amount of the following: sweets, steaming hot deep-fried preparations, and should avoid any food which agitates his senses. Srila Sanatana Goswami in his Digdarshini Tika quotes a verse from Sarada Tilaka. Those who claim of themselves to be devotees should eat his meal in the afternoon, consisting of vegetables and different kinds of fruits, roots, and grains. Brahmapatre cha bhunjita Madhyapatra vivarjite Daksham Brahmotram Vishnur Madhyapatram Maheshwaram. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1747, Narada Pancharatra. After cutting the middle portion of this palasha leaf, one should eat on the other portion of it. On the right side of this leaf is the place of Brahma. On the left side is the place of Lord Vishnu. And in the center is the form of Lord Shiva. Srila Sanatana Goswami says that a Brahma leaf is the leaf from the palasha tree. It is necessary for a devotee to cut off the middle portion of this leaf. Yastu bhagavato bhutva na gruhanati kanitrikam asuri tasya dikshatu nasadharmaya vidyate ganitrikam grahitva mantram chintayet buddha yanmantara sahasrani chintito ahancha tena vai. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1771, Varaha Purana. After becoming a devotee or engaging in the devotional service to the Supreme Lord, one who does not accept a japamala, his initiation is said to be demoniac. This kind of initiation is not very beneficial for religious principles. One who chants on the beats properly, I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, think of this intelligent person for thousands of years. Astotra Sataik Purva Panchashadbhistu Madhyama Kanyasi Panchavat Vinsatya Parimanam Vidhiyate. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1773, Varaha Purana. The beads which have 108 seeds are said to be of the topmost quality. The beads which have 50 beads are said to be of medium quality. The beads which have 20 seeds are said to be of the lowest quality. Tulasi Kastaga Ghati Tayar Manibhir Japamalika Sarvakarmani Sarvesham Deepsitartha Phalaprada. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1712, Narada Pancharatra. One should understand that beads made out of tulasi wood seeds is said to be fulfilling all kinds of desires in every activity or function. Tulasi sambhava yatu samoksham Tanute Chirat, Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1713 Gautamiya Tantra. The mala, which is made out of tulsi wood seeds, is said to be of certainly rewarding liberation. Anama Macham Akramya Japam Kuryatu Manasam Machama Akramya Japam Kuryat Upanshukam Tarjanim tu Samakramya Japam Naiva tu Karayet Ekaiva Manim Angusthena Akarshan Prajapin Manum Merautu Langite Devi Na Mantra Falabhag Bhavet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17, 114, 115 Sivagama. Keeping the beats on the mind of one's ring finger. One should chant in murmuring sound. One should not keep beats on the pointing finger and chant japa. Chanting japa with the pointing finger has been rejected. One by one, putting the beats inwards and chanting japa is recommended. Oh dear wife, one should not jump over the head of japa beats. Otherwise, he will not get the results of his chanting. Tatranguli japam kurvan sangustha angulibhir japet angusthena vinakarma pratam tat afalam bhavet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17, 116 Sivagama. If one chants japa on the fingers, he should chant also using the thumb. Chanting japa without using the thumb does not give any success. Kanishtha anamika macha chaturthi tarjani mata Trisangulyas Triparvaha Shur Majhamacha Ekaparvika Parvadvayam Machamaya Japakale Vivarjayed Evam Merum Vijaniyat Brahmana Dushitam Swayam Arbhayan Anamika Madhyat Pradakshinam Anukramat Tarjani Mola Prayantam Paryantam Kramad Dasho Parvasu. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17, 117, 118, 119. Chanting on the figures, namely on the ring finger, the middle finger, or the fourth finger, are accepted for chanting japa. On these three fingers, there are three parts to be used, and one part of the mid finger, altogether 10, to chant japa. This means that one should reject using the first two parts of the mid finger and chant japa. Brahma has stated that the first two parts of the mid finger is said to be the Meru or head of the beads, and he has rejected himself to use it. One should start from the middle of the ring finger and carry on in a clockwise until the pointing finger's root, and thus altogether they become 10. One should hold his fingers and chant japa. Arabhyan anamika mulat Parivartet vai kramat tarjani macha paryantam japet dashau parvasu. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17, 122 Gautamiya. Beginning from the middle of the ring finger and continuing clockwise to the root of the pointing finger and chanting japa in this way, numbering 10. Nasprushad vama hastena Karabhrastam Nakarayed. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17, 124 Gautamiya. One should not touch his beads with the left hand, nor not make them fall from the hand. Apavitra karo nagna shirasi pavitropi va pralapan va japed yavat tavan nishpalam uchyate. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17, 132 Vyasa Smriti. Chanting japa becomes fruitless if somebody chants in an impure condition, with dirty hands or without a seat, or in nude condition, or with a covered head, or while talking japa. Therefore, one should chant japa carefully. Vadanna, gachanna, swapanna, anyat kimpari sansmaran, anyat kimapi samsmaran, nakshud jrambhana hikkadi, vikali krutamanasaha, mantra siddhim avapnoti tasmad yatna paro bhavet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17, 133 Narada Pancharatma. While talking, walking, sleeping, or thinking about some object, hungry, while stretching the body, while having hiccups, while mentally disturbed. In such condition, if someone chants japa, he does not receive the perfection of chanting. Therefore, one should endeavor to give up all of these functions to chant properly. Anguli agreshu yajjaptam meru langhane asankhyatam cha yajjaptam tat sarvam nishphalam bhave. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17:135 Vyasa Smriti. If one who chants japa holding the beads on tip of the fingers, or who jumps over the head bead, or who chants japa without counting how much he has chanted, then that japa is said to be fruitless. Adavitra karo suddhaha pralapanna japet kvachit. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17:137 Mantrarna. One should not hold japa beads or chant with dirty hands, and one should not in an unclean condition or while talking with others. Annashana shainova gachan uddhita yevava radhayama sive sthane najapet timira antare upanat godhapadova yana sayyagatastatha prasharya najapet padava utkatasana evava. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17:139 140 Mantrarna. Sitting without a seat, while lying down, sleeping, while walking, while standing, while on a path or on impure places such as crematoriums, or in dark areas, are the forbidden to chant japa. Wearing shoes, climbing on a carrier in the sleeping condition, spreading two legs on an impure asana, one should not chant japa. Na pada padam akramya, na chaiva hi tadha karau, na cha asama asthita manana cha sanchayano japet, na kampayet siro grivam, dantam naiva prakashayet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17:142 Yajna Valkeya Smamhita. While chanting japa, one should not let one's leg climb another leg and arm climb upon another arm. In an unsteady mind, in a doubtful condition, one should not chant japa. While chanting, one should not shake his neck or head. One should not show one's teeth to others while chanting. Yaksha rakshasa bhutani siddha vidyasaraganaha haranti prasabham tasmad guptam samachare. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17:144 Yajnavalkya Samhita. If one chants japa while keeping his japa beads outside of his bead bag, then his japa is forcibly stolen by semi-demigods, demons, ghosts, perfected living entities from Siddhaloka and Vidyadharas, the dancers in the heavenly planets. Therefore, one should keep his beads outside of his bead bag. Yadiva yamalopasyat yapa adishu kadhanchana vyahared vaishnavam mantram smared va vishnum avyayam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17:148 Trailokya Sammohana Tantra. If somehow, due to certain circumstances, somebody breaks the stated rules to chanting, then he should chant a Vishnu mantra or remember the imperishable personality of Godhead Sri Vishnu. Trivido japa yajnashat tasya bhedan nivodhata vachikasya upansuscha manasascha tritha mataha trayanam japa yajnanam shreyan syat uttarottaraha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17:155 Nrsimha Purana. Japa yajna is of three kinds. Please listen. Chanting with a sound vibration, chanting with a murmuring condition, and chanting within the mind. These three kinds of chanting are respectively one better than the other. Chanting in the mind is the best. Yaducha nicha svaritaihi spasta Saudat Aksharaihi. Mantram Ucharayed Vyaktam Japayagnya Sabachikaha. Shener Ucharayin Mantram Ishad Vosthau Prachalayed Kinchit Savadam Swayam Vidyat Upanshuhu Sa Japahas Smurtaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17, 156, 157 Nrsimha. Chanting japa is of three kinds: higher class, lower class, and swarita class, which is melodiously chanting clearly, where every word can be heard by others. That is called vachika. Any japa mantra chanted in a murmuring sound, where his two lips move very minutely and one can only hear a few words out of it, that chanting is called upanshu. Srila Sanatana Goswami in his Digdarshini Tika writes that one who is chanting japa melodiously with high and low sounds in a swinging condition, it is called svarita, where others can hear every sound vibration clearly. Therefore, it is said that one should chant openly. But better is to chant japa in such a way that one can hear it by himself only. Upanshu japayuktasya tasmat shataguno bhavet. Sahasro manasah prokto yasmat jhana samohi saha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17, 159 Yajnavalkya. 100 times better than chanting japa in clear or loud condition is to chant japa in murmuring condition, where one can hear by himself. 1000 times better still is chanting within one's mind, because chanting within the mind is equal to meditating on the Supreme Lord. Srila Sanatana Goswami clarifies this situation in his Digdarshini Tika, stating that chanting within the mind is 100 times better than chanting in murmuring condition, which is 100 times better than chanting with the sound vibration. Na dosho manase jape sarvadeshepi sarvada japanishto dvijasreshta sarvayagna phalam labhet asuchirva suchirvapi gachantistham swapannapi mantraiva sharano vidvan manasaiva sada abheshet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17, 161, 162 Mantrarana. O best of the Brahmanas, in all conditions and always, one should chant japa in one's mind, because it has no faults. Therefore, anyone who is engaged in chanting japa gets the results of performing all kinds of sacrifices. Whatever condition he may be, whether purified or unpurified condition, walking condition or still, standing or sitting condition, sleeping condition, one should take shelter at the feet of chanting japa alone and chant japa within one's mind. Srila Sanatana Goswami remarks regarding chanting japa within one's mind that because chanting japa within one's mind has no faults, therefore one should chant japa within his mind, which is the best of all. Here, the best of Brahmanas refers to those who chant japa. In all conditions, one should take shelter in chanting japa without considering the time, place, and circumstances. This is the understanding here. Japena devata nityam tuyamana prasidati prasanna vipulan bhogan dajjam muktischa shashvatim. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17, 166 Padmanabhiya. If japa is chanted regularly to please the Supreme Lord, then the Supreme Lord, being pleased, will increase his spiritual advancement and give him the eternal liberation. Srila Sanatana Goswami says in his Digdarshini Tika that eternal liberation means achieving the eternal abode of the Supreme Lord, Vaikuntha Dham. Atak kurya japam nityam shektya niyeta sankhyanā. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 17, 199 Narada Pancharatra. One should chant regularly, according to one's capacity, a fixed number of rounds every day. Srila Sanatana Goswami says in his Digdarshini Tika that according to one's capacity, one should regularly chant a fixed number of rounds each day and account the number each day. One should not chant less or more japa day after day. When the fixed number of rounds are completed, one should finish chanting japa and engage in other service. Vilasa 18. Bhakcheva Bhagavan Murtir Pradurbhavopi Ched Bhavet Kartavyothapi Upayotra Purvaishadbhihi Pradarshitaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 18:4. Although the Supreme Lord appears to one by unalloyed devotional service, even then, one should follow the process which was decided by previous greatly advanced devotees. Srila Sanatana Goswami says in his Digdarshini Tika commentary that to increase one's devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or to make him appear, one should follow the greatly advanced devotees properly. Although the Lord is only interested in devotional service, not with the mechanical process, to make the Supreme Lord appear to one should follow the authorized process, not the mental speculation, whimsical process of someone. That process which comes in the disciplic succession of devotees, which matches the scriptures, will give perfection. Pratimam karayitva tu devadevasi chakrinaha na durgatim amapnoti Vishnu lokam sagacchati. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 18:5. Vishnu Dharmottara. Anybody who calls a deity of the Lord of Lords, Lord Sri Krishna, who holds a disc in his hand, he never falls in a hellish condition of life to suffer. He achieves the abode of Lord Vishnu. Prasadvat tatha tasya phalam samyak udahrutam uttarato dravyer vina pakva istakam vijaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 18:7. Vishnu Dharmottara. Any person who builds a temple of the Supreme Lord achieves the result achieved by one who carves the deity. O Brahmanas, one who builds the temple with bricks or better ingredients such as stone, iron, copper, silver, gold, etc., he achieves better and better results. Srila Sanatana Goswami says in his Digdarshini Tika that whatever merit is attained by a person who carves a deity, that same merit is attained by someone who builds a temple as an offering to the Supreme Lord. It is further found that anyone who builds a temple with clay as an offering to the Lord, 10 times more merit is achieved by a person who builds a temple with rock or stone, marble. 10 times better than that is to build a temple with iron. 100 times better than this is to build a temple made of copper. 1,000 times better than this is to build a temple out of silver. 100 times better than this is to build a temple of gold as an offering to the Lord. An unlimited amount of results is obtained by a person who builds a temple out of various kinds of jewels. Na adhika angina hina angi kartavya devata kvachit swaminam ghatayantyuna karala vadana tatha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 18:313 Matsya Purana. One should not carve the deity with extra limbs or less limbs in the body and his face. Also, such not be ferocious. If it is so, then the establisher's death is certain. Vilasa 19. Makheva sarvadevanam pratishta subhada bhavet prapya paksham subham suklam atite cha uttarayane Panchami cha dvitiya cha tritiya saptami tadha dashami paurnamasi cha tadha sreshta trayodashi asu pratishtha vidhivat krutva bahu phala bhavet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 19:40, 41, 42 Matsya Purana. To establish the deity and to inaugurate the temple, these are the best months. Magha, January, February. Falguna, February, March. Chaitra, March, April. Vaishakha, April, May. Jyestha, May, June. And when the sun travels in the northern hemisphere and within these months, in the light part of the fortnight, on the 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 7th, 10th, 13th, and full moon days, the establishment of the deity will bring very nice results. Asadhe dve tatha moolam uttara trayam evacha jyestha shravana rohinya purva bhadra pada tadha hasta ashwini revati cha pusha mrigasiras tadha anuradha cha swati pratishtha adishu sasyate. Budho Brihaspati Sukras Trayate Subhavaha Ebhir Nirikshitam Lagnam Nakshatrancha prashasyate. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1943, 44, 45, Matsya Purana. The decided constellations for establishing the deity and inaugurating the temple are Purvashadha, Uttarashadha, Moola, Uttara Falguni, Uttara Bhadrapada, Jyeshtha, Shravana, Rohini, Purva Bhadrapad, Hasta, Ashwini, Revati, Pushya, Mrigashira, Anuradha, and Swati. And the best days to establish the deity are Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. One should carefully see the most auspicious constellations and moments to establish the deity and inaugurate the temple properly. Uttarasa Ashrite Bhanau, Suklapakshe Sureshwara, Krishna Paksha Antima Triyanshad, Rite Suragana Archita. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1950, Hayashirsha Pancharatra. The deity of the Supreme Lord, who is worshipped by all of the demigods, should be established and inaugurated on the days when the sun travels in the northern hemisphere, and should be done on the days except the dark fortnight's 13th day, 14th day, and new moon day, and the light fortnight's first day. Harau suptena kartavyam devarcha sthapanam budhaihi kartavyantu vibuddhetu hamse chapi uttaram gade sarvakama samruddhyartham Sthapayet Uttarayane Varjayet Sarvayatnena Mantravit Dakshanayanam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1966-67. It is improper to establish and inaugurate the deity when the Lord Hari is sleeping, when the Supreme Lord is awakened and the sun is traveling in the northern hemisphere. At that time, the deity should be established. The deity should be established by those people who know the proper mantras so as to get the perfection of the deities. One should carefully avoid establishing the deity during the moments when the sun travels in the southern direction. Varnashrama vibhagena devasthapya hi nanyatha chatur varnes tadha vishnuhu pratisthapya sukardibhi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1984, Devi Purana. According to the category of Varna and Ashrama, one should establish the deity of the Lord. One should not act differently than this. Those people who are desirous of happiness should establish the deity of Lord Sri Vishnu to be worshipped by all four Varnas, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Sudras. Pancharatra Kushalo, Mantra Tantra Avatarakaha, Sthapane Sarvada Shashto, Brahmachari Ja Shantiyuk, Anyadha Kalaha Udvegam, Kudyat Nityam Mahabhayam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1986-87 Devi Purana. To establish the deity, a person who is expert in Pancharatrika Vidhi and in truth, who knows mantras perfectly, who is peaceful, and a celibate personality is authorized to establish the deity. If opposite to this is done, it creates fear, quarrel, and disturbance on the part of the host, the king, and the kingdom, and the teacher who does not know the scripture to establish this. If the Acharya or the person establishing the deity does follow the proper way, according to the Vedic scriptures, to establish the deity, then there will be a problem for the host, mainly of fear and fighting. Samsuddha Brahma Yonishtu Pralaya Utpatti Samsthitam Yo Vetti Kulajo Dhiman Acharyatvam Thi Swarhati. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1994 Hayasirsha Pancharatra. Those people who are born in a pure Brahmana dynasty and whose parents and dynasty are pure, those who are knowledgeable of creation, annihilation, and maintenance, they are the only intelligent people who are able to become the main person in the inauguration function. Yasya Vishnu para bhaktir yatha Vishnu tadha guru sa eva sthapako gneyaha satyame tad vadamite. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 19-103 Hayasirsha Pancharatra. A person who has unalloyed devotion to Lord Sri Vishnu and one who has equal devotion to his spiritual master, I truthfully say that he is the natural establisher of the deity. Jagrata Ichajir Mantrai Sadbhihi Kramat Sprushet Devasya Dakshanam Parsham Vamam Prashtham Shiraf Padav. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 19606 Bhavishya Purana. After situating the deity, one should chant Om Yajnagrata, etc. While chanting, he should touch the transcendental limbs of the Supreme Lord, beginning with the right side of the belly, the left side of the belly, back, head, and 2 feet. He should touch these 6 portions of the body of the deity. These are the Mula mantras. Adhamula mantrani. Om Yajnagrato Duram Udaiti Daivam. Om Yena Karmanyapaso Manishine Yajna. Om Yat Pragnana Amrita Cheto Dhattischa. Om Yenedam Budhau Ambudam Yenedam Budham Bhuvanam Bhavishyat. Om Yasmin Archa Samaya Junshi Yasmin. Om Sukharathirascha Ativayam Manushyan. Bhavishya Purana. Devadhyanika Chetasu Mantran Etan Udirayet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 19615 Matsya Purana. Meditating on the Supreme Lord, particularly with one pointed intelligence, one should chant all of the Mula mantras. Om Yajnagrato Doramudaiti iti Ato Virada Jayata iti Sahasra Sirsha Purusha iti Abhita Sura Num iti Om Purushaya Vedam Sarvam iti Om Enedam Bhutam Bhuvanam iti Om Natvam Va Anya iti. Sarvashu etan pratisthasu japitva mantran punah punaha chatushkratva sprashet adbhir mule mache sarasyapi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 19617 Matsya Purana. One should chant these mantras again and again and should sprinkle water on the deity 4 times and touch the deity from the lower portion, middle portion, and top portion or head portion, head. Iti anena vidhanena pratishtham vidadhati yaha tasya punya phala avaptihi sukham cha achantikam kramat. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 19999 Pratishthan Tantra or Pratishthanetra. One who established the deity by following this process due to his desire goes to the abode of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vaikuntha, while he resides happily after enjoying all kinds of pleasures in the heavenly planets. Kadachitcha kadhanchit chet kinchit vaigunyam apayet samskara adi punah kuryad satrokta anusarataha shat shastrokta anusarataha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 191000 Pratishthanetra. If there is some fault that happens due to some reason, then according to the scriptural injunctions, one who again follow the inauguration process. Atijirna tatha vyangam daravim shailajam tatha parityajya nashed anyam purvakta vidhina guruhu. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1004 Hai Sirsha Pancharatra. If the deity, which is made of wood or stone, if it has become too old or deformed, then a spiritual master should give them up. And then, according to the previous process of establishment, he should replace the deities again. Rashabham yojayitva tu mantrena utpacha deshikaha dravim dahayed vanhau sailajam prakshipet jale dhatujam ratnajam vapi prakshipen makara alaye agadhecha anye toye va Shipen Nadyam Mahavane. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 1006 Hai Sirsha Pancharatra. Using a bull, one should bring the deity outside. Thereafter, the deity made of wood can be burnt in the fire. The deity made of stone can be put in the deep water. And the deity made out of jewels and metal can be put in the ocean or in any deep water such as a river or in a thick forest. Yadravya yad pramana va yamutischa uddharata hare tadravya tat pramana cha samutis tatra kirtyate. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 19, 1015, High Sirsha Pancharatra. To remove a deity of Lord Sri Hari, whatever ingredients that deity which is being removed was made of, the new deity being established there should be made of the same. Whatever the size of the previous deity was, the new deity should also be that size. This is an instruction. Yat pramanam yadakaram yanmayam bimbam uddharayet tat pramanam tadakaram tanmayam tatra vinyashet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 19, 1016, High Sirsha Pancharatra. Whatever is the weight, form and posture of the deity which is being removed, and the deity is re-established, it should be the same size, form and posture. Vihaya pindikam purvam tad dinecha aparam nyaset dvitiye va tritiye va divase sthapayed harim ata urdham bhaved dosho vidhinapi niveshite anena eva vidhanena lepyadinscha visarjayet anyam prakalpayet tatra tat pramanam tadakritin. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 19, 1017 and 1018. After removing the previous pedestal of the deity, one should immediately establish the new pedestal on that very day. After removing the old deity, one should re-establish the new deity within 2 or 3 days. If one takes longer than that to establish the deity, then it becomes a faulty establishment of the deity. Khandite sputite dagdhe bhrashte vana vivarjite yagahine pasusprashte patite dustabhumisu anyamantra achyute chaiva patita sparsha dushite dasau eteshu no chakrahu sannidhanam divaukashaha iti sarvagato vishnuhu paribhashanchakara paribhashanchakaraha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 19 to 1025, 1026, Brahma Purana. If the deity is broken or cracked or burnt or fallen, disrespectful, or bereft of worshipping in different ceremonies, untouchable, or if it has become impure due to being touched by a low-class animal, or has fallen in a dirty place, or being worshipped with another god's mantra, such as if Lord Chaitanya is worshipped with the mantra for Lord Nityananda, or if Lord Nityananda is worshipped with the mantra for Lord Chaitanya, or has become impure because of being untouched, impure because of being touched by the lowest class of man. In these 10 different ways, the personality of deity does not live within the deity. The Supreme Lord Vishnu has stated this himself. Srila Sanatana Goswami has given his commentary regarding this. If the deity is broken, if the deity has been cracked, if the deity has been burnt by fire, if the deity fell down when it was being removed, whatever respect it was decided to be given to the deity was not given, or deity remained for a long time without being worshipped properly, or some untouchable animal has touched the deity and made him contaminated, or somehow it has fallen into an unclean place, or the deity was worshipped with a different god's mantra chanted. In such ways, the personality of the deity does not live anymore within the form of the deity. Khandita sputita bhagna yasmad archa bhayavaha tasmat samudhare tancha purvokta vidhina buddha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 19, 1027, Saivagama. If the deity has become broken or cracked or it appears certain that it will break. In such a condition, the duty of an intelligent person is to remove that deity. And according to the previous process of establishing the deity, he establishes a new deity. Ekaha puja vihitau kuryad dviganam archanam triratre tu mahapujam samprokshanam atahparam masad viddhardva anekaham puja yadi vihanyate pratisthai Kaischid Samprokshana Kramaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 19, 1038 and 39. Sibhagama. If the deity is left without being worshipped for one day, then double worship should be done. If it is left for 3 days without worship, then a great worship should be done. If it is left for even more days than that, then a great bathing ceremony should be performed. Some great thinkers have recommended that if the deity has been left without being worshipped for more than 1 month, then reinstallation should be performed. And some recommend only a great bathing ceremony should be performed for this. Srila Sanatana Goswami states in his commentary that if the deity was touched by a low-class person, or if the deity remained without being worshipped for a long duration of time, or if it was touched by a low-class animal, or he was being worshipped with another god's mantra, rather than replacing the deity, one should perform a great bathing ceremony. Deva Archa Naiva Sanchalya Mrunam Yapi Bhayavaha Haimadir Doshida Vatsa Purvam Uddharatya Sthapita. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 19, 1044 Devi Purana. O son, the established immovable deity should not be removed under circumstances, even if it is made of paper mache or clay. It should not be replaced, even with a golden deity. The deity made of paper mache or clay creates a havoc of pestilence or famine and causes great fear for the establisher and increases the enemies surrounding the person. Yojirnam vidhina devam sanskuryan manavo bhuvi phalam dashagunam tasya molan nasti atra samshayaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 19, 1047. Hai Sirsha Pancharatra. Any person on this earthly planet who re-establishes a deity according to the previous system for establishing the deity, replacing the previous one, he gets 10 times the merit attained by previous establisher of the deity without a doubt. Vilasa 20. Ye jayanti sada buddhya karishyamo harer graham tesham viliyate papam purva janma shatodbhavam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 27. Agni-purana. Any person who promises within his mind that I shall construct a beautiful temple for Lord Sri Hari has acquired sin. His acquired sins for 100 births are destroyed by doing so. In his Digdarshini Tika, Srila Sanatana Goswami says that one who with his intelligence says that I will build a temple for the Lord and meditates on this continuously, because he thinks like this, whether he ever builds the temple or not, he gets the result of removing sins for 100 births. Lakshena atha sahasrena shatena ardhena va harehe tulyam phalam sama akshatam iha ishvara daridrayo. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 29 Agni-purana. One who builds a temple after spending either 1 lakh rupees or 1,000 rupees or 100 rupees builds a temple for Lord Sri Hari. They all attain the same result because in the eyes of the Lord, there is no difference between a rich man and a poor man. In his Digdarshini Tika, Srila Sanatana Goswami says, because the rich man is able to build a house for the Lord by spending sufficient funds, if a poor man spends a small amount, both of them are equal in front of the Lord. This is stated by the learned personalities because both of them have the same faith for the Supreme Lord and both of them go back to the eternal abode of Lord Vaikuntha after leaving this world. Kratva vasagraham tasya devasya parameshthinaha Rajashuya asamedhanam falena sahayujyate. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 2010, Vishnu Dharmottara, 3rd canto. One who gives a built temple for the pleasure of Lord Hari, he gets the results of performing a Rajasuya sacrifice and a horse sacrifice. Prasade Krishnadevasya Chitrakarma karoti yaha vasate Vishnu loketu yavat tishtanti sagara. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 2017, Skanda Purana. Any person who paints some pictures in the temple, as long as the oceans exist in this world, until then, a person goes to the abode of Lord Sri Hari. Yak kuryat sobhanam veshma narasinghasya bhaktiman sarva papa vinirmukto Vishnu lokam avapuryat. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 2018, Nrsimha Purana. Any nice person who built a nice temple for Lord Nrsimhadev, he becomes free from all kinds of problems, sins, and goes to the place of Lord Hari. Balye samkrida manaye pansubhir bhavanam harehe vasudevasya kurvanti tepi talloka gaminaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 2022, Vishnu Tahasya. Those children who in their childhood play, make a temple out of sand for the pleasure of Lord Hari, they also attain the abode of Lord Hari. Liyopana achadanam chaiva yakkaroti punarnamam devasya ayatanam kratva na bhavet kitajam bhayam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 2023, Adi Purana. Any person who whitewashes the temple or seals up the holes of the temple, he becomes free from the fear of reptiles such as snake bites. Sada sadachara parastu ye nara bhavanti damodara bhakcha pekshaya tadiya padambhuja dhuli dhusaram kada bhavedasya sirodhamasya me. Those personalities who have made their ultimate desires to achieve the devotional service to Lord Sri Damodara, and thus they remain fixed with the rules and regulations of purity. I pray for their mercy and ask, when will my head be decorated with the dust of their lotus feet? So here we complete the reading of Srila Sanatana Goswami's Hari-bhakti-vilāsa. We hope you enjoyed the reading and get benefit out of the rules and regulations prescribed here. Hope you will be able to follow those rules with your capacity. And again, we thank you for joining in this reading, and we hope that you will be able to join in our next reading as well. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Again, Hare Krishna again.